Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. That said, here is a handful of items that we always keep in the truck in case shit hits the fan. Karen and I are parked alongside of the Alaska Highway right now. We're on our way up to the Yukon. Every year, we spend 10 out of 12 months traveling, and most of that is based out of the truck, based in our truck camper. And there's a handful of items that we bring as kind of just in case measures that are really key for truck-based living. And this year we added 3 items from our friends over at Uncharted Supply Company that I'm gonna go over. If you haven't heard of Uncharted Supply Company, they are a company that specializes in emergency preparedness and items that relate to all those things, from first aid kits to survival kits to roadside assistance, truck-based living items that you might want to carry. A lot of cool stuff, and we're excited to be able to offer a 10% discount code if you are interested in any of these items by using code DRAKE at checkout. That said, let's dive into some of these items and more. This first item solves a lot of problems all in one unit. So this is the Zeus Air. And previously, if I had a flat tire, I would have to bring an air compressor. And if my truck battery died, I have to bring jumper cables. I would have to bring a separate flashlight if I needed to do stuff in the dark. But with this, it's everything in one. This is a jump starter, it's a tire inflator, it's a flashlight, it's also a power bank. So you could plug in a USB or USB-C device directly into it and get power. And it only weighs maybe 3 pounds. Again, this one device is a bunch of things combined into one. No longer do I bring jumper cables, no longer do I bring a separate air compressor. It's all just this guy. Zeus Air, super efficient, slick tool to have in the truck. The next item from Uncharted is the extractor tow rope. This is going to be used to either pull somebody else out of the ditch or somebody pull you out of the ditch. I really prefer a tow rope over a tow chain because chains, if and when they break, they could actually go flying back, and reminds me of a story. My mom and I were actually using a chain on the front of a truck to pull a log out of the road. The chain broke because the log was so heavy. When the chain broke, it came snapping back and it flew right over the top of our heads, just going whoo, whoo, whoo. If that would have hit us, probably would have killed us both. But with a strap, you really don't have to worry about potentially dying. Tow strap lives in the truck at all times. I actually have 2 of these, just one as a backup. You should always have a first aid kit in the truck, especially when help might be hours away or if you're in areas with no cell service and you can't really get a hold of someone. Really important to have a first aid kit in the truck, and this one from Uncharted Supply Company is pretty much packed to the brim with everything you'd need to treat someone else or treat each other, treat yourself. Again, if you want to try any of these items, code DRAKE at checkout at Uncharted Supply Company will save you 10%. Next up is truck chains, and these aren't your typical truck chains. The beauty of these chains is once you get the truck stuck, you can put them on to help get you out. So let's take a look at them. So these guys, they will wrap around the outside of your wheel, and then this strap here, you will basically ratchet strap it onto this end. So it'll just strap around the wheel. It takes probably like 2 or 3 minutes to put one on, and per tire you really need to put 3 on. But what I use this for is mostly in the winter if we go off-road at all, or say we go off the ditch and we're suddenly in a foot of snow and the truck gets stuck. I'll just throw these typically on my back tires. I can get out of any bad situation. These are made in China. They're pretty cheap. Get them off Amazon. I will link to those in the description below. And again, the biggest selling point is you can put them on once you are stuck. Unlike a traditional truck chain where you kind of have to have them on before you get stuck. We never go into the mountains expecting to get stuck. Inevitably, it always happens. I always try to get somewhere where I probably shouldn't, and then you get stuck. To be fully transparent, these are made in China and they are a little bit cheaply made, but there's been so many times where they've gotten me out of a really bad situation. If I break them, whatever. I just order a new pair. A set of these is $50 on Amazon, which is probably like $300 cheaper than calling the tow truck. Next up is a set of gloves. These are the Sitka Gunner gloves. Honestly, any leather glove would work, especially in the winter when you're trying to put those tire chains on. Your hands are gonna be cold, they're gonna be covered in snow. You gotta keep those things dry or warm anyway and have some good dexterity. So having a good set of gloves in the truck is pretty key. And 2 shovels to bury the bodies. Just kidding. One for me, one for Karen. Many times we've gotten stuck in stupid deep snowbanks and drifts, and we both have to shovel for sometimes hours to get out. I prefer a flat faced shovel because I feel like they scoop a lot better in the snow. If you are in more muddy conditions, probably would want more of a pointy shovel. This one is a little shorty. This is like it's a BCA avalanche shovel, and then this one is just like your traditional long shovel. The amount of times we've dug ourselves out of a bad situation is more than I can count on 2 hands. So definitely always bring the shovels. Those are some survival preparedness items that always live in the truck. Rarely do I have to use them. Some of those items I've never had to use, but in the rare case that something crazy happened, I really got stuck or came upon a really bad accident, I'll be really glad I had them.